The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to an additional 12 million households. The show also archived later on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you can post your comments, whether you agree with yours truly or not. No retribution. Now, I say that there's no retribution, and there will be none for something I'm going to announce to you before I introduce you to these two lovely ladies who so graciously came up to the studio to be with us, Carmen and Camille. And if you haven't heard their music, you're going to just be blown away by it. You will be blown away by it today. I just want to say, and I apologize to go through this little deal while you guys are patiently waiting to do your interview. But yesterday I made a comment about the guys, the Taliban guys that wore the burqas and slipped by our boys who were going after them in Afghanistan because the men put on the burqas to walk out and pretend that they're women. And I made a joke saying that maybe we should, get rid of don't ask, don't tell, allow gays into the military, let the guys who like to wear drag dress as women so that they can touch the women under the burqas to determine who are the men and who are the women. And now there's a petition that has been started to get me kicked off the air because I am anti-military and I spoke against our brave men and women who are fighting in Afghanistan. Can you believe that? I want to say that if there's anybody listening to this show who believes that I am anti-military, given the fact that I am actively involved in a number of organizations that help veterans who return who have been wounded in war, and we have carried their events right here on the show, and we have carried their concerts to raise money for them right here on the show. If you think that I'm anti-military, leave. Don't stay. Go sign the petition. Try to get them to kick me off the air. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But you know what? I believe in free speech. If you want to come at me, come at me. But if you think that I'm anti-military, you don't know me. Okay? I stand by what I said. I don't believe in don't ask, don't tell. It was fine when President Clinton initiated it. We're way beyond that. If gays want to be in the military, gays ought to be in the military. Does that make me anti-military? I think not. Okay. Sorry, gals. I had to get that off my chest. Nope. Just wanted to answer my critics a little bit. I got to tell you, I just learned at the last minute about Carmen. She's older, you can tell, right? She's kind of getting gray. And Camille. And I got to say, they've been compared to me, and I have to agree. I don't know whether they were an influence for you, but, I mean, my generation, Heart was it. Heart was the bomb when it came to women. I actually saw them this last summer in concert in New Jersey. I mean, you guys really have it together. You got great voices. You're independent performers, and yet you've been all over the place. You've been on MTV. Where else have you been? Traveling all over the world. You're from Canada. You're here. You've been in LA. You've been in Spain. You've been in London.
Yeah, Egypt, Greenland, many places.
We've actually done a bunch of military tours.
And military tours. These anti-military entertainers are who we bring on to Paltalk. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Well, we did a USO. Thing. We did. Paltalk did for the troops, and they say that I'm anti-military.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Anyway, we're past that forever. Last time I'll mention it until maybe a little later in the show. When I was your age, the radio stations told me who to listen to. Today, there's a whole new thing going on here. The radio stations aren't telling people who to listen to. People are deciding for themselves. My son is 21 years old, almost 22, and he comes into the car, and he turns off CNN, and he slips in his USB thing, and he's playing music. I said, damn, Daniel, this is good. Where'd you find this group? Well, I found them on the internet. And they and people have these huge followings. So I guess what's really happening is support for gals like you and other musicians. It's really organic now. The listeners really are deciding, right? The audiences are really deciding.
I would agree with that statement. Yep, we definitely are in a lucky time in the sense that I think maybe record deals might be fewer and farther between, but we definitely have resources like the internet and
to get exposure. And
yeah,
things like MySpace. It's crazy the opportunities that can actually come from MySpace.
Yeah, or you hear these people who like make a Twitter and suddenly 20,000 people show up on their Twitter account, and it's definitely a different world.
Yeah. So in a way, it's easier to get your stuff out there, but it's harder to gain an audience because you're competing against a lot of people, right?
Definitely.
I agree.
You have to kind of filter through the bad stuff because there's tons of that out there, but there's also, lots of good opportunities for sure. And Facebook is another one. You can really reach out to your fans and keep in contact with people.
And Paltalk.
And Paltalk. That's a really good one. Yeah.
We're gonna rope you in and make you put your concerts on Paltalk before this is all over. Because when this crew out here hears how well you guys perform, they're gonna wanna follow you around. Like the Deadheaders used to do, but we'll do it electronically rather than in person. So how old are you?
25.
And how old are you? 25 in a second,
2
right?
minutes older.
2 minutes older. And so how long have you been doing this?
Well, our parents are musicians, so it was definitely a musical family, which we felt pretty lucky about. After we went through our teenage years, we were kind of rebellious and wanted to do our own thing, but my dad would give me guitar lessons, and eventually after high school, we decided to start doing it for serious. For serious? Is that good proper English?
Yeah, doing it seriously, I guess.
Yeah.
In Canada, maybe for serious, but here it's seriously.
We like to make up words.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Detroit, so I speak Canadian too.
Yeah. It's its own little language.
It is a little bit, yeah. And so how long have you been on tour?
We actually have been more this trip that we have just been on. It's kind of more vacation than anything else. We had some meetings and stuff in New York, but we've been relaxing by the beach.
Yeah, we just came from Ibiza actually, which was a whole nother world of just
debauchery.
No. Yeah, and so we're still recovering from that. But on and off, we've been touring for the past couple years, I would say. Right now, we're kind of in the whole recording new music phase. And haven't been focusing so much on playing, but power to the Canucks.
Yeah, there you go. So the music that you play, is this all original? It's all stuff that you guys wrote?
Yeah, writing is really important to us. Like, we love expressing ourselves. It's something we've always done. And there's definitely a lot of people in this music business who will try and tell you, no, you can't do your own writing. You have to get your foot in the door, blah, blah, blah. And I just disagree with that because it's like that's the whole artistry of it. That's what we do. That's who the musicians I like. Usually they write their own music or have a hand in it. We like co-writing as well. And so, yeah, we write.
So how do you